So tell me, John, since you made that film with Jimi Hendrix, did he ever leave you any of his sloppins?
No, I mean, the thing is, he was a very sweet, sort of welcoming, oh, yeah, sure, you can come in, you know. Oh, come on in. You know. Like, he would, like, somebody say, ring up, can I come round and see you? And they take 5 people, you know. And he had this little room in Chas Chandler's apartment, who was the bass player with the Animals. You know, and it was all hung with this beautiful, like a tent made of tie-dye kind of muslin, you know, so like a sort of desert tent.
So you went over there one day with Jimmy, or to see Jimmy, or what? I don't get it.
It was all part of the...
I don't know, hectic.
When I was interviewing him for The Observer.
Mm-hmm.
It was not around about the film. Look, the film grew out of the article.
Right.
Essentially.
You were working in The Guardian as a columnist, or as a...
No, I was actually working as a layout artist, but Nick Cohn, who was their regular rock writer, had already done a little piece for Queen, which was like a glossy. The Observer said, look, if he's written about that subject for Queen, somebody else must write the Observer piece, Get Me John Marshall, because I did these little record reviews. And they sent me off to, you know, I was just like, yo, he's coming in on the plane at 10 in the morning, like, be there. Like, I had to catch the limousine at Heathrow Airport, you know. And this is when he'd just been thrown off the Monkees tour by the...
One of the great...
Daughters of the American Revolution.
One of the great mistakes in producership.
No, it was all... I mean, it was kind of calculated. He wasn't going to be able to do the whole tour, so they had, like, let's make that... So it was all, like, cooked up.
Kind of publicity, too?
And Hendrix was, like, being put up as this sort of... every mother's nightmare that your daughter might be going with.
This black man.
He's just like a coloured man with a fucking afro haircut, setting a guitar on fire. You know? You just can't imagine a more, you know, something more to turn girls on and scare their parents.
What was the last thing Jimi Hendrix said to you, Johnny boy?
Do you know anyone in this band? You want to ask them if I can sit in? That was Coliseum.
I've heard of the Coliseum. Was that a kind of a Madison Square Garden kind of like
no,
thing?
No, this is a band.
Coliseum was a band?
Like Chicago, the British, like a sort of one of those jazz rock type.
Right. Guess there had to be.
Blood, Sweat and Tears. They were on stage. And Hendrix said, he reserved, he'd done this Albert Hall concert, and then
went over there afterwards and sat in with the band.
Went to this place called the Speakeasy, and they said, oh yes, Mr. Marshall, you're expected at Miss Hendrix's table. You know, they had me down at Jimmy's table. And he was like, with 10 people in a row, you know.
Hey now.
So I sat there, and Jimmy said, hey John, do you know anyone in this band? So you've got to ask someone if I could sit in. And in fact, I went up and talked to my friend, the bass player. And he said, we're just finishing, man, at the stage. So it was the last number. I never, you know, Hendrix had already gotten up from his seat and was moving up his equipment. Right. And he got like, hey Mitch Mitchell, Dave Lamb, little Stevie Winwood on keyboard, Dave Lambert from Traffic playing bass, Mitch, what's his name? Noel's gone home. 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, like boom, whack. It was like, do you know what I'm saying? Like it really happened fast. You know what I'm saying? Like it was
Jimi Hendrix. Who was it again?
Mitch Mitchell, his regular drummer. Dave Lambert from Traffic.
And
Stevie Winwood.
Stevie Winwood.
And they were just like so on fire to play. You know what I'm saying? Like this wasn't any, didn't tune. They knew they were in tune. I think they did like a sort of 35-minute version of Blue Suede Shoes or something crazy.
Right.
And I know they played 3 hours.
Wow.
And I left. I didn't even say goodnight. And that was the last I saw him.
So Johnny Boy, did Hendrix have an effect like Jesus on you? Or didn't you kind of feel that your experience, at least with him, changed your life?
Oh, with all of that, I mean, there was no way it couldn't. I suppose, in a way, yeah, it was similar because, it was like, sell your house, sell your boat.
But I wonder if he's just like a regular guy who's the receptacle for all the loving looks and energy exchanges of his fans.
Well, no, I mean, look, he had ability, man.
I agree.
He had transcendent ability.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, to me, I had picked up on, since I met him, I spent 3 years very engaged in analysing his work and realising just how incredible an artist he was. And he was really looking at the whole idea of mapping out orchestral scores and sort of big scale works.
Sounds like you're just about ready to take a fall.
but the thing is,
Seems like I heard that album he did after his famous albums, and it wasn't all that.
If you listen to the last sort of 2 minutes of Drifting, and you realise that there's hardly any composer since Beethoven would have made such a fantastic 3-part invention. You could easily take those parts and set them with 3 violins on the level of Itzhak Perlman and fucking Yo-Yo Ma. You're the best possible players in the world, and have them play that 3-part invention. And,
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Nice speech. My favorite part of your movie is with the parachute and that song.
May This Be Love, right?
May This Be Love. Is that the name of that one? That was my favorite, man. That's a wonderful, wonderful. The most famous footage from your film. And actually, John, that may be the footage of Jimi Hendrix, isn't it? Of him playing that guitar.
The
acoustic.
Well, it's interesting, yes, indeed. He did have a grasp of the Delta blues from inside. He wasn't like a tourist.
Right.
But his actual original compositions, he was very like Mahler. He was very like Sibelius. He had that whole thing going, like of looking at big compositions. And you hear Drifting. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, are you about to put it on? As you put it on, I'm going to have to turn the camera off, but that's fine. I won't mind hearing it.